Hello my simmers and regulars, my name is Val and I'm the Sorry Simmer. If you clicked on this video, you are actually in for a huge treat. Actually, I don't know if it's a treat, but this is pretty much my first speed build. I was going to say my first build. It's definitely not my first build ever, but it is my first speed build and the first build that I'm kind of showing on YouTube. I also don't have a ton of builds up on my gallery, but you can follow me. I am the_sorry_simmer. And I think I will start kind of putting up more cast creations as well as build creations. I'm going to be honest, guys, building is not my forte. I don't think I'm terrible. I don't want to be like beating myself up too much, but I don't think it's my thing. I think my thing that I contribute to this community is kind of my ideas for challenges, mostly let's play challenges, but I do have a cast challenge as well. So I'll just really quickly kind of tell you a little bit about that, and then I'll kind of explain more about what I'm doing for this build. So right now I have 4 challenges on my YouTube. One is called the Facial Recall Challenge, which is a cast challenge. I've also got one called the Extrovert Challenge, and I've also started one called the Green or Green Challenge, which is an eco lifestyle challenge. And the one that is associated with this video right now, the 4th one, and to be honest with you guys, just as a little background information, this one's probably my favorite. It's the most fun. I am a little twisty, so I do like the little twisty challenges more than the sweet vanilla ones. But anyways, yeah, that challenge that I'm talking about is called the EVIL Grand Matriarch Challenge. So just to tell you a little bit about that one, because this build is actually for that challenge. Basically what we're doing, we have a character named Mal, and she's quite evil. She does have the evil trait. She's also a genius, but basically what she wants to do is she wants to populate Newcrest with a bunch of babies, and how she's going to do that, or her thing, what kind of turns her on, is to break up Townie marriages around The Sims. So there's actually 18, actually 19 now, with the new married couple that we got with Eco Lifestyle. I think they're the Harrises. I think that's the family name. So there's 19 marriages that we're basically breaking up. This is only counting the marriages involving male Sims, just because she does want to have babies with them. So that is obviously important to what we're doing. So yeah, we're basically going to take the empty blank slate of Newcrest. We'll have a baby with each one of the kind of male married Sims. Once we're kind of done with them and we've broken up the marriage and grabbed all these simoleons that we can from them, then what we'll do is we'll banish them to Newcrest. And they can kind of live on in Newcrest in this little kind of commune town where they'll take care of Mal's babies. And then Mal is kind of free to continue on in her quest. So this house that I'm doing right here is actually the very first house for Newcrest. And I didn't know how I was going to do this challenge because, like I said, building is not really, it's not really my thing, or it's not, I mean, I enjoy it, but it's not what brings me the most joy out of The Sims. I wasn't sure if I was just going to kind of download things off the gallery or kind of what I wanted to do with that. But you know what? This day that I started this build, I just was in the mood to build, and that doesn't happen very often. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to build this house, and it's going to be a tiny home, because at this point in the series we just have the first Townie that we've had a baby with, and it was Ekram Elderberry from Rochester. He was an elder, so we did want to make sure that we got him done before, just, you know, in case he wanted to die on us or something like that. I know, so sentimental, right? So yeah, I just am basically making a small, I don't think it ends up being a micro home. I think it's, yeah, I can see here it's tier 2. a tiny home that we're making, and it'll basically be enough to kind of house Ekram with our new baby. The new baby we did name Spike, after Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So if we have any Buffy fans that are watching right now, make sure you guys comment in the comment section anything about Buffy, and I'll absolutely love it, and it'll make my day. So please do that. Actually, as I was building this house, I actually came across a video by a YouTuber that does builds called Sims Forever, and they had used a very large lot, one of the biggest lots that you can have in The Sims 4, and they actually created a bunch of tiny houses within that one lot. So they've kind of made like a little community within one lot, and I have seen that before, but I wanted to shout out that video because that is the one that definitely inspired me. So I watched that and I was like, oh my goodness, that would be so cool for this challenge, because I did say from the beginning that I wanted it to be a kind of commune type thing where everyone kind of looks up to Mal, and she's like the evil grand matriarch, that's what I call it. But they all kind of look up to her, the children love her. She just comes and says hi for a bit and then goes on her merry way. So I thought it would be really cool to actually make a bunch of little tiny houses, put it on a huge lot, but then make it kind of like, I could even make like really, really, really small houses where there's no like washroom in them, and it's just basically like has like a bed and I don't know, maybe a bookshelf, maybe something, I don't know. And then have like a kind of middle house that's like the common area that has like public restrooms and maybe some like skill building kind of things, like a little living room, kitchen area, that kind of thing. And then just have all these like tiny homes with like 2 bedrooms in them, so that they could ultimately have their own little home, but it's all kind of on one kind of community space. So I think I am going to do that actually, because I think that's amazing, and there are some big lots in Newcrest. So right now what I'm doing is I'm having Ekram, our first guy with our first baby, move into this house, but I think ultimately what we'll do is we will bring this house onto one of the big lots, and this will actually be like Mal's little comfortable home that she can sleep when she's visiting all the rest of the men and the babies. We'll probably end up actually changing up the bedroom, because as you can see, I am decorating right now. Sorry, I haven't talked about the house like at all, so I hope you guys are still enjoying this speed build. But yeah, as you can see, like right now I'm doing the kind of like a toddler room, so that it's all ready to go when Spike ages up into a toddler, because that'll be soon. They're usually not a baby for very long. And then you can see beside is kind of a nice room, and it ends up being really nice and warm and beautiful. It's got like a kind of blue or turquoise and orange. I know that sounds kind of that sounds kind of weird, but in my opinion it ends up looking really nice at the end. So what I'll probably do though, even though I love that bedroom, the burnt sienna and turquoise bedroom, what I'll end up doing is I'll probably just make it, to be honest, a little bit more Mal's style. She's a little more like maybe gothic inspired. Like she loves to wear black, she loves to wear red, and yeah, she's definitely evil, and she's definitely that stereotype. So and you can kind of see that as I'm decorating the rest of the house. You can see the kitchen is black, and the living room's got the red and black, so that's very, very Mal. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just kind of decorating the bedroom that will ultimately end up being redecorated. But yeah, I end up really liking it. Okay, before we get too far here, I did want to actually just kind of talk about one thing. I am part of a Discord group. It's also on Twitter, and it's called Sassy, or Simmers Against Social Injustice. So we're basically a group of simmers who, exactly as the title is, who are coming together to do whatever we can to raise awareness, raise funds, anything like that, in order to kind of combat against social injustice. And in this case, with what had happened with George Floyd and what has been happening with the protesters and things like that, with the police, with police brutality and all those awful things that have continually happened, not just in the last month, but for the last years and decades. Right now, what we're doing is we're trying to raise money for Color of Change. So I will put in the description the little Tiltify donation link for that group. All the proceeds are going towards Color of Change, which if you do the research on the group, it's a really great charity that does a lot for actually trying to get funding to change specific laws and things like that. So really super important. Every weekend in June, we are doing kind of a streamathon, and it's running Friday to Sunday. And like I said, it's every week in June. So we just finished our second weekend, and it's going amazing. I believe I know we've got over 10,000 for sure. I think we might even be at 11,000. But we still have 2 more weekends to go. So I'll definitely put the Discord link as well as the Twitter handle for Sassy or Simmers Against Social Injustice. That'll be in the description. So make sure that you guys follow on Twitter or go check out the Discord link so that you guys can see what the schedule is. Like I said, it's running Friday to Sunday. So and it's running like straight through the night. It's literally a marathon or a streamathon. And it's really exciting. If you are interested as well, if you like my content, I'm also participating as a streamer. I'm doing it for me, it's actually the 25th, but it is Friday the 26th for anyone that for UK time or British summer time. But for me, it ends up being Thursday the 25th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are interested, come check me out on Twitch. So if you want to come hang out and kind of donate whatever you can, literally even $1 helps. Say we have 20 people in the chat, and say we have 20 people show up to the stream, and each person gives $1. That's already $20. That's going to make a huge impact. So if you can, like I said, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, June 25th, 26th for anyone that is kind of in those European type time zones. For that, it would be very, very early. I believe it'd be like, something like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. So I totally understand if you can't make that. But if you can, I'll be there. I'll be hanging out. Haven't really decided what I want to do for that. I do have a few ideas, but I think it'll be a good time, and hopefully we can make some money for this great cause. All the information, like I said, will be in the description. Okay, so it looks like right now I'm doing some landscaping. I'm going to be honest, guys, landscaping is absolutely terrifying to me. It's something that, anytime I've ever built anything in The Sims, I've always just kind of built a house, and that took long enough. It would take a few hours, and that was just too much for me anyway. So I would just kind of stop there, and I don't know, I feel like with watching more people's videos and becoming more involved within the community, I've obviously watched a lot more speed builds and stop motion builds, and I started realizing, okay, the landscaping makes such a difference with the house. And there's certain things that you can kind of cover up. If you don't like certain things about your house, you can kind of cover it up with some landscaping and things like that. And I just kind of realized that, and I was like, okay, I'm going to really kind of dedicate my time and try to do this landscaping as much as I can. Just a quick kind of shout out to the Sim Sanctuary. He's a YouTube channel that I've been watching for a while, since I started in this YouTube community, and he's also on Twitch as well, and I've been trying to kind of catch up with his streams as much as I can. I am working, so I can't always be there all the time, but anytime I kind of see him pop up and I'm able to, I'll always go into his streams, because he's an amazing builder. He's someone I really look up to for building, and in particular, one of the last ones that I watched him was he did this kind of family home. Most of the main parts that I was watching during that stream was a lot of the landscaping, so I got to see him go into the debug menu and use, you know, a bunch of different things, and you can kind of see me doing that, you know, using all the rocks, and, you know, I end up using the kind of the debug fences and things like that, which to be honest, I never would have even thought to go in there. Like, I knew that there was a debug menu, but it just, like I said, I didn't really focus on the landscaping before, so he kind of helped me kind of see how many great items there really are, and I think it kind of makes this build so much better. For this build, I'm not really going for like a beautiful kind of landscaping, although in a way I think it is very pretty, but I do want it to look, I did want it to look kind of almost overgrown. It does, as you can see, the house does kind of have like a gothic kind of vibe to it, so I did want it to be kind of like haunted house-ish. I mean, not really, but I did want it to be like that kind of gothic and kind of overgrown. You can see like the kind of vines that are going through the fences and things like that, and I wanted it to, you know, have lots of trees and lots of different rocks, and I did want it to have that kind of overgrown type of look, and I guess I'll have to kind of go with that when I do make that little commune ultimately. So yeah, ultimately I was super happy with this house, how it turned out. I love this kind of statue that I have. I imagine the little statue that I have at the front of the house is a statue of Mal. I think she's a bit of a narcissist, so I think she would kind of erect a statue of herself in the middle of the town. So maybe even when we build the commune in the huge lot in Newcrest, maybe we'll even make like a big statue. We'll size it up and make it this huge statue in the middle kind of thing. That might be funny. Or maybe just evil. I don't know. Funny or evil. Okay guys, I'm gonna leave you here and let you kind of look through the screenshots that I've prepared. I'm hoping to have part 5 of the Evil Grand Matriarch, where we actually move Akram and the baby into this house. I'm hoping to have that out very soon, within the next day. Hope you guys can check that out. If you haven't checked out the challenge yet, I will link the playlist as well in the descriptions. If you enjoy my content, guys, make sure that you guys subscribe. I really appreciate that, and leave me a comment. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and stay happy and healthy. Bye.